Hello all, welcome back to my channel TechSense. In today's video, we will discuss about Azure Security. So let's start. Securing your network and solution resources in the cloud is a must in this day and age. Azure provides a set of tools and resources to ensure your systems are safe, secure and trusted. So let's explore multiple ways by which we can secure our data at network level, at data center level, or maybe at compute level, at application level. Let's explore multiple ways to do that. This is defense in depth. Basically, it's a multiple layer of security. So if someone attacks to your data, it has to pass through each and every level. So it basically slow down the process for attacking data. That's why we require multiple layer of security for our data. First layer is physical security. Physical security means physical building security, and controlling access to computing hardware within the data center is the first line of defense. Just secure your data center. Then comes into the picture identity and access. Identity and access means users need to be authenticated to use the application. So to implement that things, we have Active Directory so that we can create the users and give access. Then comes parameter. Basically use distributed denial of service protection to filter large scale attacks before they can cause a denial of service for end users. So we can implement firewalls to identify and alert for any insecure attack. And at network level, we can implement firewalls, restrict inbound requests, restrict outbound requests, secure connectivity to on-premise networks. So all of these things come at network level. At compute level, we can apply the security patch to our application, to the data servers. Also implement endpoint protection and keep systems patched and current, up to date. That comes at compute level. Now if we talk about at application level, then secure all the credentials in a secure way, maybe through Azure Key Vault, that I'll discuss later. So let's say if we have a program and we are putting the credentials just a config file and we are not encrypting that, so it's a security threat. It is very important to secure these kind of informations through a secure way. Then finally, data. So it's the responsibility of the servers to ensure that it's properly secured. Let's discuss the responsibility metrics. We already discussed about IaaS, PaaS and SaaS services. That is the responsibility metrics in terms of security. If it's on-premise, then all the security factors customer need to manage, like data governance and right management, needs to be managed by customer only. Signed endpoints, account and access management means all the Active Directory, multi-factor authentication also needs to be managed by customer. Application, network controls, operating system, physical host, physical network, physical data center. If you talk about infrastructure as a service, then Microsoft will handle, because servers is again with the customer only. Microsoft is just providing the hardware to you so that you can control, you can take the remote. So in that case, physical data center will be with Microsoft. So they will be securing that thing. So customer need not to worry about that. Physical network. Okay. Because the data center is with Microsoft, all the routers, all the networking thing will be managed by Microsoft. If we talk about platform as a service, then operating system, because operating system will be given by Microsoft. So Microsoft will handle the security of operating system also. If we talk about software as a service, then data governance and right management, client endpoints, account and access management, that needs to be managed by customer, but rest of the things Microsoft will manage. Okay, let's understand firewall. What is firewall basically? This is one of the way to secure your data. A firewall is a service that grants server access based on the originating IP address of each request. You create firewall rules that specify range of IP addresses. Only clients from these granted IP addresses will be allowed to access the server. Firewall rules also include specific network protocol and port. Firewall is basically all about rules. So you can create inbound, outbound rules from which specific IP it should communicate, so that not my application will be accessible to all. My server should not be accessible by the whole world. I need to filter that request, right? That purpose firewall is there. Filter which IP should have access, and again, not only the IP, which network protocol, HTTP, TCP, UDP, which protocol you want to give access. Also, for an example, I have two servers, database server and app server. So I need to create firewall between these two servers, because app will send the request to database to fetch the data. So, but if I do not put the firewall there, then each and every application and server will be able to access database server. In that case, what I will do, okay, I will create the firewall. This particular server, my app server, will be able to connect to database server, but not all the ports, not all the protocols and port, only HTTP and HTTP and 444. Let's see in the portal. So that is how we can create firewalls. To create the firewalls, first of all, we need to have virtual network because firewall is attached to the virtual network. As you can see, once you create the firewall, these are the options. Mention the subscription resource group, name, region, choose a virtual network, create new or use existing. You can use the existing one also, and virtual network. So just fill all of the details and click on review and create. Then you will be able to create the firewall. This firewall will be attached to this particular virtual network. And if you want to apply this particular firewall to a virtual machine because you want to restrict the access to that specific VM, then go there, virtual machines, click on add. While creating the virtual machine, in the networking parameter, you can select your virtual network. Once you select the virtual network, then all the attached firewall will be applicable to this machine. So that's how firewall works. Okay, the next way to secure your systems or maybe data is network security group. It allows you to filter network traffic to and from Azure resources in an Azure virtual network. So basically, it works within the Azure virtual network. An NSG can contain multiple inbound and outbound security rules that enable you to filter traffic to and from resources by source and destination IP address, port, and protocol. That's also the same thing with the firewall, but it works at the Azure virtual network thing. The firewall works with external servers as well. So let's see in the portal. While creating the virtual machine, once you fill all the basic details, when you go to the networking, if you want to attach the network security group, you can click on advanced and create new. Once you create new, see, you can add another inbound rule, you can add outbound rule. So this is how network security group works. It basically filters out the request between the virtual machines. So this is all about network security group. Let's understand authorization and authentication. It's basically another way to give the security to your data. So what is authentication basically? It's the way to identify the person if he's able to access the resource, yes or no. If yes, then okay, grant the access. If no, then throw the error. Whenever we access any application, maybe Microsoft Portal, Facebook, LinkedIn, then we mention our credentials, username and password. If our username and password is okay, then it gives access. Otherwise, it throw the error. Now, what is authorization? It's the process of establishing what level of access an authentication person or service has. So, being a user, at what extent I can access the application? Am I an admin? Or I'm a simple user? If I talk about Microsoft Dynamics CRM, it's a Microsoft product. So can I create users, play around with it? Can I delete all the tables, all the records, or I can just simply create a record? So this is authorization. These two things are available in Azure. You can give the authentication. Also, you can implement multi-factor authentication. If you have deployed any application to Azure and you want to implement multi-factor authentication, that's also achievable by Azure. And if you talk about authorization, that's also possible. For each and every resource, you can mention, you can tell Azure at what level you want to authorize this user. So let's see in the portal. See, if I go to any resource, let's say this is my resource group. If I go there, if I click here, access control, so I can create a role, I can view the role assignments, I can see to this resource group how many users have access to this resource groups and what are the actions they can perform. So these all are the things that is achievable, and not at only resource group level, at resource level as well you can configure these things. So Azure Active Directory, basically that helps to implement the authentication is a Microsoft cloud-based identity and access management service. Azure AD helps employees of an organization sign in and access resources. Basically, something could be a password or the answer to a security question. Whenever if you remember, if you try to access the Microsoft portal, it doesn't only ask you the username and password. It also sends an OTP to your mobile number that you need to mention. Only then you will be able to access. So this is one more step towards authentication. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. For any query, please write down in comment section. You can also email us at mytechsense@gmail.com or visit our website techsenseconsulting.com. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.